This is the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. Stradale meaning road going. This originally was a race car, the 33 Tipo. They made it into a road car, and this is what you get. It is a very, very special car, and in my opinion, one of the most beautiful cars ever made. This car is full aluminum body, aluminum tube frame chassis, and a 2-liter V8. Although it has the low displacement, this engine is insane. It revs to almost 10,000 RPM. Now that's mainly due to this being a flat plane crank that allows it to rev faster and basically higher RPM. This thing screams. Now it only has about 230 to 240 horsepower, but this thing only weighs 1,500 pounds. You double that figure to get to 3,000 pounds, and that is still considered a light car today. So this is a 1967. They only made 18 of them, and there are so many unique features of this car. You can tell the doors are actually dihedral doors, so they open up, which we'll be able to check out here in a second. But the windows go up onto the roof, so in VR this is quite an experience. We're going to be diving into road and track in this car to really get the full experience, and Assetto Corsa does such a great job with this car. The sound, and again those visuals with the VR are pretty incredible. We are going to be taking this car into the Los Angeles canyons and taking on a nice drive to start things off, and then we're going to dive right into the 1966 configuration of Monza, so we'll be able to see what this car looked like in period and really just enjoy what this car is all about, because let's be honest, this car is worth more than $10 million now, so there's really not a chance any of us are going to be able to drive it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let's take a quick peek inside the car. We can pop right in, mainly so you can see those dihedral doors again. Be able to see that interesting interior, that classic simple dash. I love older cars for that reason alone. One interesting thing to note here is this car does have a 6-speed manual transmission. Now that wasn't that common at the time, so it's pretty nice to have a 6-speed, and you'll see us playing with that on Monza because it is one of the fastest tracks out there. So anyway, let's dive right into VR and take this car into the Los Angeles canyons. Here we are in the canyons, in the 33 Stradale. Hot air balloon above us that we can only see because these windows go all the way onto the roof. So cool. It is so much fun getting into these classic, very special cars and experiencing them in VR. We're going to be taking it around the canyons, going on a nice little Sunday drive, and then we're going to take it straight to the racetrack. So let's pop onto the road and get used to this thing. It's nothing better than a good canyon drive here. Ooh, pops on upshifts. Remember, this thing revs to about 9.5 or so. The car's changed a lot year to year. Again, this is a 67 mid-engine 2-liter flat plane crank V8. This should be a ton of fun with this 6-speed manual. Second gear roll. Oh man, this thing just revs and revs. Get a nice heel toe. Use those higher up RPMs. We'll stay nice and tidy here. Just kind of riding on the edge. Then we'll start to pick up the pace. Some tighter corners here at the beginning, and then it speeds up a little bit. Trying to be nice and smooth here. This is such an experience driving this. I cannot imagine driving this on public roads. What an experience. Yep, you can get it to kind of rotate when you lift. Or if you brake, it transfers that weight to the front end and gets that rear end a little bit light. With it being a mid-engine car, see that rotation there? Kind of fun to play with. A little bit of braking to rotate it. Let's get on this hard here. I think this is a pretty fast corner. Oh man, what a car. This thing just feels so special. Some faster corners here. See, getting it to rotate. Into the sun. It's cool, you can actually duck out of the sun in VR. What a special car. The sound of that engine, the fast revving nature. And high revving, holy crap. This thing hauls, again, only that 230 horsepower. But because it only is 1,500 pounds, that is plenty. Yeah, that heel toe is so rewarding. Not just because of the sound, but just the responsiveness of this engine. That brings us to the end of our Canyon Road. That was so much fun in this car. Again, you could do this if you had the money. Let's check this thing out on track and see how it really behaves on 1966 Monza, an insanely fast track. We're gonna wind this thing out and see what it's like and what it would look like in period. This is what it would have looked like in the pit lane at Monza in 1966. Now this is a 1967 car, but that's as close as you're gonna get. Pretty special to be able to see this and know really how historic this circuit is. An Italian circuit, what better place to be in an Italian car. This thing sounds so awesome. Those pops. Man. Let's roll on to track. This is actually a track that I don't know all that well. It's one that I haven't spent all that much time with, so this should be pretty fun to try to get the hang of things. So cool seeing the crowd, those old looking grandstands. Now you see to the right, there's actually a huge banked oval over there. You can see, look how steep that bank is. But we are on the road course here. Let's take it a little bit easy on this first lap, get the hang of things. I'll try to push it, I promise you that. But, gotta get to know the track and the car. Like I said, this is a fast circuit. They're even talking about putting in a chicane. Modern day, currently, they're talking about trying to put a chicane into this track to slow it down just a little bit. Those curbs are extreme, they will bite you. But listen to this thing scream. Let's see what it would be like in the third gear. It actually pulls pretty decent down low, even in those RPMs, but it's pretty clear to tell where the power's really at here. Underneath the Coca-Cola bridge. Let's see. I knew this is pretty fast. Good to know. What a car. Nice heel toe down. This looks pretty tight here. Getting that rotation. You can tell once you get on the throttle, it changes that weight and makes you kind of want to understeer, so you really have to nail it all at once. So a pretty simple circuit back in 66. You can actually try to duck out of that sun again. So cool. All those old ads on the side, the billboards. Now I'm going to turn in a little bit later here. There we go. Try to stay out of that curb. Oh, I still clipped it. Such a fast track. This is nuts. Really trying to use those brakes, slide this thing in. It's a challenge, but man, it feels so different under braking. To get that thing to rotate and slide into the corner. Again, a very different type feeling with that mid-engine. And really, really lightweight. You got to keep that in mind. Lightweight, but you do have that V8 behind us here. Like you can actually stay pretty fast through here. Again, this is more about the experience than setting lap times at the moment. There's no doubt this is a pretty special experience. All the way from 5th to 2nd. Onto that main straightaway. Just can't help but look around. We might crash this damn thing, but how cool. And kind of get close to the gauges. A little bit of grass on the way in. So obviously this car being more a nimble car, a really wide open circuit like this isn't really what I was imagining going into this video, but I mean, come on. The famous Italian circuit and really the most beautiful Alfa Romeo ever built. I'm a big fan of Alfa Romeos, and this one just takes the cake. Again, I think this thing is worth over $10 million now, which is crazy, but keep in mind, aluminum body, aluminum frame, that special V8, and just such low weight that this thing is kind of exactly what you always would want out of a race car. Nice to have that naturally aspirated raw feeling. Let's dump it into 6 just since we have it. Let's go from 6th to 2nd here. Heel toe all the way down. Using those RPMs, sliding. Came in a little hot, but man, so much fun. Alfa Romeo really built some special cars over the years, and this one really blows my mind just about every time. Keep in mind there's only 18 of these. That's why they are so expensive. But that was quite the experience both on road and track in the 33 Stradale. All in VR. It's just hard to beat. This is so much fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. I plan on making these types of videos on road and track in a wide variety of cars, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm probably gonna do a few more laps in this thing, and I'll talk to you guys later.